the other end of the court, a gentleman that is a crowd pleaser and draw of his own. At 22 now, the ATP ranking of number 3 for Mats Wilander. He just turned 22 on Thursday, was presented with a birthday cake by the ball boys and ball girls. He has personified precision in this tournament and cool under pressure, which is a Swedish trademark.
The first unseeded player and the youngest male.
Donald Dell, we've got a couple of outstanding players here today.
That's interesting. Wilander there, two-time defending champion, looking very sort of relaxed and loosey-goosey. They met once, as we said at the opening, in the French Open. Wilander gave him what Becker said yesterday was a tennis lesson, and you can see the scores there, 3-2 and 1. But that was on a red, slow clay court in Stade Roland Garros. This was a fast deco turf in Cincinnati, Ohio, at Kings Island, a suburb. And so Mats Wilander, you see him right now at the net, and that's where I think he will have to win this match. He will have to serve well and come in quickly, and he can't stay back and expect to win the entire match by hitting passing shots. Becker's too strong, too quick at the net, and too powerful to do that. I think Barry McKay said it very well. Kyriak does believe that Boris Becker can swamp this guy and come in on everything. It'll be interesting to see if he can. Wilander won the first round, easily over Van Patten, 11-1. And in the second round, cruising along, he beat Pavel Slozil, the Czech player who's done so well in Europe recently, 6-1, 6-3. Into the third round, Kenny Slack, the American Davis Cup doubles player, 6-1, 6-4. And then into the quarterfinals on Friday, he beat his compatriot Stefan Edberg in a tight match, 6-3, 6-7, 6-2. He felt that was his toughest match so far in the tournament. And then yesterday, last night, in the semifinals that we brought you, he beat the American Tim Wilkinson from Asheville, North Carolina, rather easily. The match score, 6-2, 6-1, a little deceiving. It was a tougher match than that, but Wilander was always in control. And as you see him warming up right here, this stroke will determine whether Mats Wilander can defend his title, his first serve. Can he get it in enough time to keep Becker back on the baseline?
Donald Dell, Boris Becker's had an interesting week. He's had a little problem with a couple of big servers, but he's had some great results himself.
Boris Becker beat Shahar Perkis, the Israeli player, 2-3 in the opening round. Then in the second round, moving on quickly, he beat Brian Teacher, the veteran from Los Angeles, former UCLA graduate, 6-4, 6-4. Into the third round, he beat John Sadri, the big serving Marine from North Carolina State, in 3 sets, 6-1 in the final. Into the quarterfinals went Becker and Hank Pfister on Friday night. They had a tremendous 2.5-hour struggle. Pfister said it's the best tennis he's played all year. But, of course, Becker won it 6-4, hitting 3 straight winners at 4-all in the third. And then yesterday, in that rain-delayed semifinal, which we brought you part of it first match, and then later on, as Nystrom went down, 6-4, 7-5, Becker came back strongly after the rain break and dominated. And this kid has been simply fantastic since Wimbledon. No one knows for sure how good he can become or how fast he will continue to improve, but everyone knows he's here to stay. Ranked 9th in the world, Boris Becker is leaving his mark on American tennis this week in Cincinnati.
Barry McKay is down on the court, will be throughout the day. Barry, what's the feeling down there right now when we're so close to getting started?
Bob, it's really tight down here. I noticed a couple things right before the match. First of all, Wilander won the toss and elected to serve. Kind of interesting, because normally you'd figure a guy like Wilander with a great return to serve, if he wins the toss, is going to return. But Donald mentioned it. He has to serve well today, and he's going to start by serving that first game. Very important. I did notice kind of an interesting expression on the face of Mats Wilander as they tossed the coin. He kind of looked up at Becker as if to kind of size him up and say, is this guy really as good as everybody says he is? And I think Wilander, of all the players in the world today, has a great play against Becker because he is so consistent. He's going to return so well. It's still drizzling a little bit. We feel a few drops of rain right where I'm sitting. I hope that big black cloud that I'm looking at in the north kind of passes over quietly, but it's very unsettled, but no wind. Back to you, Bob.
Wilander to serve. The chair umpire is Jeremy Shales. Wilander in the near court. Has only been broken 3 times in the entire championship, and we're underway.
Now, Wilander thought the ball was a let. Neither player played that ball, but there was no call. So they've agreed to play it over and start again.
That is really cute. Donald Becker looked over at the umpire and says, was net, was net.
And Wilander went along with it. First point of the match, fault.
15 love. That's Wilander. Is seeded third for the upcoming U.S. Open.
Love, the Swede, settling down slowly. Becker a little erratic. And those are pressure points. Boris Becker missed that first serve quite easily because he hasn't settled in yet. Match 3 points old, 40 love.
Wilander did not have his service broken or lose a set until he got to the quarterfinals.
And there's the Wilander we talked about. The first serve came in with the first volley to hold.
Wilander holds first game of the match. We'll pause now for this word from your local cable system.
And on his right is, of course, Nystrom, the young Swede who is so close a friend of Mats Wilander. Ace.
Number 47 of the championship.
Barry McKay, not a bad little opener for the German. Watch it again here. He slices it wide. Perfect slice wide in the deuce court. First ace, first point of Becker's serve. Becker heard a fault, and that bothered his volley, and he was right. The linesperson agreed. And there is Jan Tiriac, Count Dracula, the charming, smiling man on your right. To his left, Gunter Bosch, the coach from Romania. That is the mastermind, the quarterback, and the trainer of this youngster from Germany. For you tennis fans out there, you know Jan Tiriac from the days when he coached Ili Nastasi and when he also coached Guillermo Vilas all over the world.
30 love. Becker with a couple of boomers to start things off. Boris Becker, of course, won the Queens the week before Wimbledon, so he's 2-0 in finals this year, and of course he'd love to win the ATP before the U.S. Open.
Not a bad little record, 2-0 in Queens Wimbledon finals. Phenomenal.
Donald, you mentioned the power in Becker's serve. I feel from down here, he's got much better footing on this DecoTurf surface, and he can get off the ground higher than he did on the grass at Wimbledon. So I think this surface should definitely help his first serve.
Probably give him a little more reach, too, Barry, at the net, although he likes to slide. He can't slide on cement like he does on
But with that big first motion, Donald, you know, he'll be able to get a little more spring than he would off grass, and I think he'll be up higher as he hits
push off faster and get in further.
Exactly.
All our theories, then he double faults.
As soon as we start talking about his serve, he double faults. The kiss of death.
He just wants to let you know that he is indeed human at 17. 40-30, and the linesmen have to be very alert when he is serving.
Ace. Wow. And again, as we said all day yesterday, this kid has the ability to play the big points well. Let's see that first serve. It is so powerful. Big, backswing, changes the grip. Notice he's to the forehand grip, leaves the ground, and as he goes high in the air, he snaps his wrist, his body weight going into the court. That's where Becker gets his power. The weight distribution into the net at the snap of the wrist with the ball at the height of its toss.
Game 3, first set. Wilander to serve.
And that is quite a record. Wilander himself, he's won 20 times out of 31 career finals, and that's batting almost 70%. Ace. I don't think Becker saw that ball. I think he hesitated, thinking it would hit the net, and it was by him. This is a very important match for Max Wilander. He wants to demonstrate that he's the second or third best player in the game, and no youngster's going to come along and beat him easily.
Not in his own tournament. He owns this place, or has for the last couple of years.
And look at Wilander ending the rally off the net.
Wilander holds, coming to the net. He leads 2-1, first set. Just as we cut away, a large groan came up from the crowd because the announcement was made that this match has been suspended because of rain. But it's just a few sprinkles. Barry McKay thinks it may blow over very quickly, and not many of the fans have left their seats. So let's go down to the court now, where Barry will give us the story on what exactly is taking place.
Okay, Bob, thank you very much. I'm here with Peter Herb, who's the official referee for this tournament. Peter, what's the ruling right now on this center court?
We're just going to keep the players here until the lines are a little slippery with this drizzle. And of course, safety of the players is the first priority.
Peter, when you say the lines are slippery, in other words, the court itself is okay, but those lines are going to be a lot slicker?
That's absolutely right. The ball will skid, which is no problem, but the players will skid too when they when they run on the line. So that's the primary purpose. We're just holding the players are going to stay on court unless it rains a little heavier. Then we'll let them leave, but it looks like we'll be able to go as soon as this drizzle stops.
Peter, let me ask you a crucial question. If Mats Wilander and Boris Becker say to you, we don't think we should play on this court, and you look at it and say, hey, you know what, I think this court probably looks all right. You make a ruling, or is that ever going to come to pass? Are you going to really take the judgment of the players?
Sure, I think whenever both or all the players agree on something, we're probably going to fall back and agree with them. I do recall one year in Berkeley, many years ago, Stolle and Passerelle were playing, and one wanted to continue. The one that was winning, of course, wanted to continue, and the other one didn't. But we stopped it because we felt it was too slippery.
All right, Pete, you've had a good week here this week. Any tough situations with the players versus the official referee?
Not at all. The only tough situation was yesterday with the rain, and we lost about 3 hours and 10 minutes to rain yesterday afternoon. That put us a little bit behind, made us play a semi today, but nothing tough at all.
Peter, check this court. I think it's going to get dry here any minute.
I think we're ready.
All right, back up to you, Bob.
Well, if it's up to Barry McKay, we're going to be back to action in just a moment. Thank you, Barry, for that report. We want to take this opportunity to preview something that we're very excited about. Coming up Tuesday evening, 7:30 p.m. Eastern, from the National Tennis Center in Flushing Meadow, New York, the U.S. Open, starting 10 consecutive days of live coverage by USA, and we're looking forward to that. In fact, we'll start on the 27th and take you clear through the quarterfinals, and on the 4th and 5th of September, Wednesday and Thursday, we will have both afternoon and evening live sessions for you. Donald, as we look down now, the players have taken off their warm-ups, back in their shirts, and they are re-entering the court.
I think clearly, Bob, they're going to start here in literally a couple of seconds. sun is back out. The court certainly is dry. I thought they stopped it awfully quick myself. There was a lot of clouds coming, but the court didn't look like it was getting wet.
Well, Mr. Sun has visited us now for one of the few times this weekend. This certainly is a welcome change from the 3 hours plus rain delays we had 2 different times yesterday. So to set the stage for you, Becker at 1-2 in the first set, serving.
Opens with a good first serve. Both these players will be at the U.S. Open, of course, next week, and thus this tournament final becomes awfully important to them. Becker will play McEnroe the quarterfinals if both get there. And the winner would play Wilander in the semifinals. They're all in the same top half of the draw. I'm going to show you that U.S. Open draw a little later in our show. Connors and Lendl are in the bottom half, along with Yannick Noah. Becker working his way nicely into the net. Let's watch as he tries to get into that net. Now, Wilander there short. That ball lands inside the service line, gives Becker the chance, and there's the high volley. Watch him from another angle. He plants his feet when he makes that first volley. Look how low he gets for a guy 6'2". Beautiful movement. And Wilander must keep the ball deep.
Becker, in fact, during that rally, wanted to come to net a little earlier and chose not to because Wilander was able to get the backhand deep. He picked the spot very nicely. And now with that ace, 40 love to go even in the set, 2-2.
Awfully good serving when it counts. Becker holds for 2-all. When asked in last evening's press conference how Wilander felt playing Becker again when he beat him so easily at the French, Wilander responded, "But he's a different player now." And well, he is. And this is a different surface. Smart play there by Wilander. He sliced him wide to open up the court. Barry McKay, you have to feel if Wilander can keep Becker back long enough, he's going to win a higher percentage in this match.
Well, no question, Donald. He's more consistent from the baseline. Becker has a tendency to miss-hit balls from that baseline. We've seen him hit them off the top of his racket. But Becker, very impatient to get in, though. And I think he's going to be trying to get in a lot quicker than he normally would.
Great first serve by Wilander, moving to 40 love. And he's doing his role perfectly, holding serve pretty easily the first 3 times. He said before the match, "I must serve well to win," and he is dead right.
Game
Becker wide with the backhand. A love game for Mats Wilander. He leads first set 3 games to 2.
Investing these days is a little bit like you playing tennis against Jimmy Connors. You're going to need all the professional help you can get. Payne Weber can supply that help. A full range of services and the financial advice to help you make those difficult decisions. Because at Payne Weber, we believe the quality of life just might depend on the quality of your investments.
Hey, great match. Thanks, Jimmy. Thank you, Payne Weber. Next time I want those guys on my team, okay?
Donald Dell, everybody thought that serve would be the key to this match. Your analysis of that so far?
Well, it's only been 5 service games. Becker at 70%, awfully strong. Wilander at 62 is a very good percentage. 4 aces, though, for Becker. That's been one secret, and that's after only 2 games of serve. So he's averaged 2 aces per game. This is his 3rd game of serving. Big, strong kid from Lehman, West Germany. The serve won in Wimbledon. But he happens to be serving against one of the best return-to-serve artists in the game, particularly off the backhand side. Wilander is devastating when he has time. Wilander sprays the forehand as Becker approaches.
Love.
That's the one thing I see Becker doing, is possibly overhitting those approach shots that are not that easy to make. And he did it a little bit last night. He obviously did it there. I think that might be his one flaw at the moment, trying to overhit the approach.
Good point, Barry. He's pressing there to get in quickly, and he's a little impatient. After all, he's got to do something wrong. He's only 17. 2-3, 15 all. Out called.
Terriak says Boris is 17, going on 25.
Certainly tennis age he is. There's Jan Terriak, formerly played Davis Cup for Romania. There's Randy Gregson in the glasses, president of the USTA.
30-15.
This tennis tournament, only 7 years old, founded by executive director in 1979, Bob Briner from Dallas, Texas, with Charlie Meacham and Nelson Schwab of the Taft Broadcasting Company. They built the stadium, they had the idea, and the rest is history. And what a job Paul Flory and his tournament crew has done to build this tournament up. It's fabulous. Becker does exactly what he has to do. Works his way in slowly to get a good approach. Watch how he takes his short ball. Slices the backhand. Here he comes, cross court, sharply angled. Wilander plays down the line. Becker's waiting. Plenty of time to make that forehand. Let's see it from a different angle. Look at the slice there. That's for control. Comes in, plants his feet. Look at that forehand volley. Well in front. Classic. Wilander with a good low return. Becker misses.
Donald, you know, Becker hits that backhand approach very similar to Yannick Noah. Really slices under it. I think Noah's got one of the best approaches, along with McEnroe. Keep that ball very low.
Serving at 40-30 to tie the first set at 3 games each.
good. Interesting because Wilander, trying to keep the ball deep and push Becker on the baseline, has hit a few balls over that baseline. He never makes those kind of errors, but he's trying so hard to keep the ball way deep.
Donald, that squeaking noise everybody might hear is the players out there, especially Becker, changing directions.
It's on the court surface,
Absolutely.
the rubber against the DecoTurf.
You can hear it from way over here.
Oof. Beautiful touch. He took the pace off Becker's approach. Little slice down the line. That's Wilander, of course, very popular on the tour. Has been re-elected vice president of the ATP. This is the ATP Championships, of course, the Association of Tennis Professionals.
Proceeds from this event go toward the ATP Players Retirement Fund and also to the Children's Hospital Medical Center of Cincinnati. Nearly $1 million over the history of this tournament for medical research. 30 love.
This tournament in its 7th year. First champion was Peter Fleming in '79, Harold Solomon, John McEnroe, Yvonne Lendl, and then Mats Wilander in '83 and '84. That may be his best play, Barry, to come in on that second ball and really try to swarm him before they get into long rallies.
That's a great approach shot, and he takes a big stride after it. He was well inside the service line for the volley on that shot. Puts a lot of pressure on Wilander.
I love the way the Swede plays. Quiet, concentrated, intense, understated, but always a winner. Another great play by Becker with the slice. Chips deep. You know, that's the way Yannick Noah feels that you can beat Wilander. You come in on every ball, particularly his second serve, and it unnerves him. He starts missing the passing shots because he doesn't like to be rushed.
Yeah, he likes getting in those rallies, Donald. He loves that. He'd rather hit in a rally than on the first shot.
He gets a little rhythm, I think, as the hits mount. He's much tougher on the 4th or 5th hit than if you can get in right away. Here he comes. And there's 3 errors off that chip and charge in a row. And Becker has the first service break point. And right here is where Mats must get a first serve in. .30-40, 3-all. That well-known 7th game. Break point. Threads the needle with a great backhand roll cross court.
He leads now 4-3 in the first set. We'll pause now for a word from your local cable system.
There they are, the former ATP champions, all wonderful players in their own right, and how this tournament has grown under the direction of Paul Flory and his tournament staff.
McEnroe has also been a 2-time doubles winner here.
And now Wilander under a lot of pressure. Becker 7 points from capturing this first set if he can hold serve.
Interesting there, just that split-second delay from Becker caught him about 3 feet inside the baseline. If he'd started just a split second sooner, he would have caught that ball a couple feet higher, Donald. That's a tough shot.
He who hesitates is lost. That's what Willie used to say. I don't mean Billy Talbert. ace. Boy, he serves that forehand court from the deuce side as well as anybody in the game. Because he has a nice slice motion naturally, and you're leaning to your left, defending the backhand.
His 5th of the match, 51st of the championship. He's had as many as 11 aces in one match here. Serving at 30-15, 8th game, first set.
Determination of this youngster. Wilander on the dead run hit a great shot. Watch it again. Here comes Becker. He's got him cross court. Makes the volley. Wilander on the dead run, scoops it up down the line. He's got a good shot. Becker there, covering the court nicely. Another angle. Watch the lateral movement of this kid. And he saves it with a strong wrist and a high reach. Got it again.
Donald Dell, nobody else in this tournament has been able to return those shots of Mats Wilander until this afternoon.
Well, Becker has been awfully convincing at the net in this match. 40-30, 4-3. And as they say, the great ones play the great points well, and there was a service ace for 5-3. Barry McKay, this guy is unreal on the big points.
Donald, it's uncanny, and Tiriac mentioned that the other night. He just seems to sense when that point is where he should bring out his biggest weapon, obviously then the serve. But what's also impressive about this match, it's clean tennis being won by winners. Not too many errors from down here. It's a great match so far.
3-5. Wilander must hold. First set. And Becker now really crowding him. Surprised Matt doesn't serve and come in a little more. He's got to back him up. He was coming in then. Second serve.
Becker trying to topspin the backhand, 15 all.
And Bob, if he misses with that topspin, he really misses. I mean, it's not like a couple of feet. It's like 10 or 15 feet. He'll really miss that big swing.
Tremendous hand speed is what a lot of folks have been talking about, Barry, in regard to Boris Becker throughout the week. .30-15. Becker was long with it.
Becker made the right play, though. He came in behind a good deep chip and missed the volley.
Wilander needs this one and then has to break Becker. Won't go over the tape. 5-4 now. Wilander back to within a game. First set. Boris Becker serving for the first set, up 5-4.
Wilander picked out a new racket at that game change. It's really interesting. He brought 3 new rackets out, Donald. Picked out one. It sounded like it was a little looser for this game.
He wants to return well this game. That one hurt, and he knows it. Becker doing most of the sweating so far in this match. He'll change his shirt 2 or 3 times during a long afternoon. Oh, drops well in. 6 inches. He let that one go, and it was way inside. If in doubt, you got to cover this ball. Here goes Wilander, and watch Becker. He lets it bounce, and it's inside the line. 15 all. Bad judgment on Becker's part. A little indecisive.
Seemed like he had plenty of time, Barry, to look at the shot.
You got to feel that Wilander is trying to just block the ball with that looser racket now.
He wants to see the ball. He didn't like that second ball at all.
They just changed balls, Donald, 5 and 4, so it's brand new balls in this game. That could be a defective ball.
Changing balls on 9 and 11 games. This is the 10th game. Oh.
Ace number 7.
2 set points for the German. I watch Wilander in position, waiting to return serve. The ball skids, and it goes under Wilander's racket. Very unusual. He doesn't get a play.
Set point for Boris Becker.
Ace again. Back-to-back, 2 aces to close out the set. Can't serve any better than that.
He's had a couple of matches here, Donald, where he's lost the first set. But this has to be a huge advantage for him now to be 6-4 and 1-0 against the great Wilander.
Becker were to win this match today, he could move into 4th place in the Nabisco Grand Prix, just edging by Jimmy Connors. Nabisco Grand Prix, of course, is the worldwide circuit, 80 tournaments in 25 countries, and $4 million in bonus money at the end of the year for the top players. So these points all add up. Besides the prize money each week, they're winning bonus points. What a stretch volley. Becker comes in now with the roll. That was the topspin. Look at the reach. The wrist firm as he angles it wide. He has to have a tight, firm wrist to make that shot.
Wilander serving 15 all.
Ace called. Becker didn't like it.
Wilander's second ace of the match.
Ball hit the edge of the line on the 2-handed cross court. And if you remember the first set, a game ago, Wilander kept hitting his backhand down the line, and Becker was there. The last 2 have been cross court. Another good serve.
Wilander pulling out the big serves. He takes the first game of the second set. Boris Becker with a fault, serving to start game 2 of the second set after winning the first set 6-4. You're watching the 85 ATP Finals on USA.
Great forehand, and Becker looked right over at Tiriac after he hit that shot. Tiriac waved him on. Now he steps around here, cross court, no way. And there's Tiriac in the dark glasses. And they communicate frequently with hand signals. Gunnar Bosch, the trainer on the left of our screen. He is also Romanian, has known Tiriac for many years.
Becker with a big service winner, 30 love. And another. His manager Tiriac says he's a bit stubborn. I guess most teenagers are. But once he can get him sold on an idea, he dedicates himself to that. And that's why he's such a good student of this game. 40 love to even the second set.
Wilander caught it perfectly. Ball on the line. He used the speed of the second kicking serve of Becker. Ball kicked right up high off the cement. Wilander was very prophetic. Indeed, this is a different player in Boris Becker than at the French Open. And it's a different surface.
Becker holds. Barry?
Go ahead, Bob. I was just going to say that we talked to Tiriac also about the strange thing with Becker's joints, and he mentioned how loose-jointed Becker was, and that he could move and do some strange things, bring his thumb way around to his wrist, kind of unique. And yet Donald mentioned he's very firm on the grip, but I think that could be one of his unique qualities. He's very loose-jointed, able to move maybe better than anybody we've seen.
Bad error there by Wilander. He wanted that forehand approach. He's trying to come in more and more now. Both serves. And a second forehand. Boy, that's a bad error. Becker has a big chance here. If he gets on top of you with another break here, he could move quickly to serve out this match. 1-all, love 30.
In a rare moment there, Donald, he hit that ball against the backstop and immediately raised his racket as if to say, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that.
Good first serve. And there in the cap is his coach, John Anders Sogren, and on his right, of course, his good friend, Joachim Nystrom. Fault called.
Oh, just out.
And Nystrom questioning it, which is unusual. Wilander questioning it, which is unusual. See if we can get a better view of it here. Here comes Becker, pressuring him. Boy, it's close. I thought it was a little wide. 15-40. Ball was called out. Another great serve by Matz. And he saves a break point. 30-40. Becker going to the towel.
Warmer than yesterday, but a big difference in humidity with all the rain we had in the area. Hot on the Deco 2 surface. Becker breaking the service of Mats Wilander for the second time in the match. He leads 2-1, second set. It's all Boris Becker so far. 6-4 in the first set, 2-1 in the second. He has service here in Game 4 for a commanding 2-game lead.
Ace.
Number 9 today, number 55 this week. Donald, if you're Mats Wilander, what can you possibly change to change the direction of this match?
Well, at this stage, he's really got to throw caution to the wind and hit some shots, go for some winners off the returns here, Becker. Can't play conservative. There he is, one. He's got to shake him up and break back, and then he's got to start coming in more himself on his own serve. Now watch on the dead run. He goes for his shot. Perfect cross-court winner. And he cannot be cautious and play carefully at this stage of the match. He's down a set. He's down 2-1 in a break. And this guy is serving great in the deuce court. It's about his 4th ace on the forehand side. That slice is working to a dream. Becker really keeping the pressure on with that heavy delivery. Good return, set it up nicely, watch it. Here comes Wilander. He's got that forehand running, carrying the racket, opens the wrist action there, comes well around it with a western grip, slaps the ball right at Becker. 30-all. Wilander was there, but he couldn't do anything with it. And again, it was the first serve slicing to his forehand that opened up the volley for Becker. He has done that pattern about as well as anybody we've seen in a long, long time. This is one of the few players coming along who's right-handed and who does not have a two-handed backhand in Boris Becker.
His service has not been broken yet today. Serving to go up 3-1. Awesome. Boris Becker, 3-1 in the second set. He is serving flawlessly today. Over Johan Creek at the Queen's Club. USA was there in June. Of course, the big preview of Wimbledon. You know what happened then.
Slapping that backhand winner. Mats Wilander didn't do too badly in his first Grand Prix title win. He won the French Open Championship in 1982.
He is also the defending French Open champion.
You can safely say, Barry McKay, this guy is for real. He is dominating Wilander now.
Donald, the last 4 games, he's played flawlessly. I mean, virtually has not made a mistake, hit the right shot every time, and executed it perfectly.
Mats Wilander, after playing singles and doubles yesterday, has to do it again today. It's got to be tough if he would go on to lose this match to get himself up for that doubles competition with the big show in New York staring him in the face on Tuesday. 15-40. Break point. Becker has broken Wilander twice in this match. Boris Becker. This is his second serve at the start of Game 6, leading 4 games to 1. Here he comes. During the changeover, Donald Dell, the crowd was just buzzing.
Yeah.
They are just amazed and so impressed by what they've seen from the young man today.
It's like the old Elvis Presley song, Now or Never, for Mats Wilander. He has got to break right here, or this match is history.
That's something he has been unable to do this afternoon. The match, about an hour and 5 minutes old. He has all the answers.
And Becker really is guarding that line off Wilander's passing shots. He has not gotten any by him off the backhand down the line. There he goes again. When he's stretched, he goes down the line, and Becker is reading it perfectly. 15 all, 4-1 to the German. He's got it. The topspin stayed in. 15-30. Let's see if Boris Becker can get a first serve in right here. Wilander will lift his game. He's too good a player to let this guy roll over. Great serve. All. Barry McKay, can you believe this sequence of action?
Barry has shedded his coat on the court. A bit toasty down there as the sun now bakes the big crowd here of almost 7,500.
Wilander went with the cross court. That was his better play, but he way overhit it. Becker 1 point from 5-1 and dominating this tournament. Ace, virtually unplayable return. Wilander lucky to get his racket on it, and it's 5-1. Let's watch the service motion of the youngster from Germany. Very high toss. A lot of knee action there. Pushes up and over. And as he hits the ball at the top of its arch, he leaps into the court. All of his weight into the court. Serving just to hang in the match.
Mats Wilander seems like such a veteran, and he's only just 21 against the 17-year-old wonder.
Ooh.
Beautiful.
That's where he must win this match, in the net. He's going to get back in it, but he's got to break serve twice to get to 5 all. That's like a glacier. With no mountain climbing equipment. That's the depth of Wilander's problem.
Wilander, 3-time winner this year at the French, at Boston, at Bastad. 3 out of 5 in finals this year, and unless he does something dramatic, he'll be back to 500.
2 points per match down. Becker goes to the towel. He is loose and confident.
Hasn't even changed his shirt yet on this hot day.
Wilander slipped that ball in so fast, Becker wasn't ready.
Wilander holds his serve. It's back to 5-2, but he has to break Becker. Let's pause for a word from your local system. We could be watching the last game of this match. Boris Becker up 5-2 and serving after winning the first set 6-4.
Fault call.
Becker with 11 aces, Wilander with 4.
Out call. That one hurt. Wilander is trying to break here and get back in the set. Puts him, plays behind Max, and now he is just cruising. 5-2, 30 love. He has been absolutely unbeatable on his serve today. Only one time did Wilander have a break point. And then Becker put in an unplayable serve.
Championship point.
Three match points to the server, the youngster from Lyman, West Germany. Boris Becker. Remember the face, remember the name. He's going to be around a long time. And a virtual ace on match point. Quickness and certainty, he dispatches one of the great veterans of the game, Mats Wilander. Incredible scores of 6-2, 6-4, 6-2. And the serving power of Becker on this court was very surprising to me that he could dominate so easily.
We have more to come as they celebrate the victory of Boris Becker in straight sets. He's the new ATP champion.
6-4.
An impressive straight set victory today for Boris Becker, 4-2. He's on the court with Barry McKay.
Okay, Bob. Boris, we saw you play at Queens. We saw you play at Wimbledon. But do you think today maybe you played as well as you did over there in England?
Yeah, I think I played today my best match of the tournament, of course, and yeah, I think I played like the same in Queens at Wimbledon. Yeah.
Boris, you were playing a tough guy, Wilander. He's won this tournament 2 years in a row. I knew you knew that. What was your plan going into the match today?
Well, I knew that he was serving better than before, and I knew that I have to serve very good to hold my serve, and so I just went on the court and tried my best and went for the balls.
And you did it.
Yeah, that's right.
Boris, what do you think in your game has improved the most since you won that Wimbledon title?
think my confidence is much higher than before, of course, you know. And after Wimbledon, I knew that I can win the big ones, you know, and that I can beat the big players. And that helps me a lot, you know, when I'm playing like Wilander, you know.
I saw you do something very well. You covered net today very well, I thought. You anticipated well.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, all the Swedes are playing most down the line, you know, and so I knew a little bit that he was playing more down the line than cross court, you know, and so I went for the down the line ball, and I played well that night.
Boris, okay, U.S. Open starts Tuesday. What are your plans now getting ready for that big tournament?
Well, you know, I think it was like the same before Wimbledon, you know, when I won Queens, and I was in the same shape. I played maybe the same, and, you know, I just want to say that I'm ready for the Open.
You don't feel like maybe you've been playing too much tennis? You're still very eager?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I played these matches are only best of 3, you know, and it's not too bad. I had a lot of fun this week. Yeah.
Boris, we're going to be at the U.S. Open, so we'll look forward to seeing you there. Good luck.
Thank you very much.
All right, Bob, back up to you.
Thank you, Barry McKay. Well, we don't know German very well, but they love Boris Becker. Now to the PA announcer. We'll have the awards presentations. John Paris.
Ladies and gentlemen, we now turn your attention to Center Court for the awards presentation. It is my pleasure to present at this time the ATP Championship Tournament Director, Mr. Paul Floyd.
Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the 700 volunteers, I would like to thank you, the fans, for making this another ATP Great Championship. I would also like to congratulate our contestants who brought us a great match today. Now I'd like to introduce our major sponsors, Mr. James Orr, Vice President of Sales, Crush International. Mr. Charles Meacham, Chairman, Taft Broadcasting. Mr. Gary Watson, President and Publisher of the Cincinnati Enquirer. And Mr. Ed Redding of Nabisco, and here on behalf of the Nabisco Grand Prix. The runner-up and winner's check will be presented by Mr. James Orr.
Thank you, Paul. I'd like to take this opportunity to congratulate both our runner-up and our champion on providing us with a week's fine tennis. First, I would like to recognize the runner-up, Mats Wilander. Twice champion here, you've obviously become a very popular player in this area. Again, congratulations on a fine tournament, and I'd like to present you, in the name of Crush International, with this runner-up's check for $24,000.
Thank you very much. I would first like to congratulate both boys. I think they played well today. And too good for me. And I would like to thank Rush for putting up this event. I think it's a great event. And I would also like to thank Nabisco for putting up the circuit. And I would like to thank all the people that came and watched us. I think it's great. There's no tournament without the spectators. you're doing a great job. And I hope I can come back next year. Thank you.
Tennis world by storm, our 1985 champion, Boris Becker. Boris, congratulations on an outstanding tournament. You've provided us with great entertainment and a wonderful championship match. On behalf of Crush International, I'm pleased to present you with this winner's check for $48,000.
I just want to say thank you to the tournament director, Mr. Flory, then the sponsor, Grant, and then I would like to say thank you to Nabisco. And you know, if I would have lost this match, I would have called it next year better Wilander Championship, you know. And, so I'm just happy that I won the tournament. I played my second best week, you know. I think you know my best one. And that's all. See you next year.
Present the trophy, Mr. Charles Meacham.
Ladies and gentlemen, I think you'll agree with me in adding just one thing. Not only did these two fellas today play great tennis, but wasn't it tremendous to see that they were both great gentlemen on the court?
Championship ring, symbolic of this championship, Gary Watson.
Thank you, Paul. And they say youth is wasted on the young. Boris, since a cup is a little large to carry around with you to help you remember your first, and I emphasize first because I suspect there might be many more, ATP championship, it's my pleasure to present you with a ring commemorative of your 1985 victory.
Ladies and gentlemen, just one more final applause for these two great champions, Wilander and Boris Becker.
He's a great young champion, Boris Becker, showing the cool and calm of a man twice his age. Donald Duff, the Boris Becker story continues. It is truly amazing.
Well, it is amazing, and they say youth has no fear, and we saw that today. Becker had no fear and no respect for the great Swede Mats Wilander, who has won 4 Grand Slam titles. You see him there holding the trophy high, and he is so relaxed and so confident. As he said to Barry McKay, his confidence after Wimbledon became all-time high. He knew he could win a major championship having done it, and that was the difference today. He really believed that he could serve Mats Wilander off the court, and he did.